Tonight, an up-close and personal look at one of the groups most impacted by this pandemic, the families of those who lost loved ones. I sat down with a Johnson City woman who lost her husband way too soon.
It was a Sunday night. We both got a fever, and I was like, we need to go get tested.
Angela, Estelle, and her husband Jim both tested positive for COVID-19 back in January. 1 month later, only Angela is here to tell their story.
I kept asking him, are you having any trouble breathing? Do you have any tightness in your chest? Nothing, until all of a sudden he did.
At what point did you start to get really scared?
Probably like 3 or 4 days before he passed away. The x-rays were getting worse.
We sat down with Angela just over a week after Jim lost his battle to COVID.
I never thought that at 34 I would be a widow.
Angela and Jim have been married for 5 years and together for more than a decade. She says Jim had some health issues in the past, but no conditions that made her think she would lose him.
We were extremely cautious.
When Jim was admitted to Lourdes, Angela wasn't able to visit him until the very end.
What was it like being there in the hospital and seeing him in that state?
I wish I had been able to see him earlier on when he wasn't sedated, that I could have at least, held his hand, got one more hug. So it was tough.
He was not old by any means. A lot of times you hear people, they're in their 70s or their 80s. How difficult is that being a widow at 34?
I've heard a lot that it's only old people. And so I think one of the things is, that I want people to realize it's not. So that is definitely something that's hard to come to grips with because I'm still hearing it.
Jim was 50 years old when he died from COVID. And that's exactly why Angela wanted to do this interview.
I'm going to do everything that I can to share my story. And I know there's a lot of people who know Jim's story now, and I will continue to keep sharing it because it is real. It's very real.